Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenaton, and welcome to today's video. We got a pretty sweet deck today to talk about. Been having a lot of fun with this deck. I hope you all have fun with this deck too. I'm sure some of you guys will like this deck. We got Ephemerals today. You might be saying, streamer, why Ephemerals? Well, I like the deck. I like Hecarim, okay? And Callista is waifu, so of course I gotta play Callista. So with that all said and done, let's get into looking at the deck before we actually play a couple of games. Why not, right? So, where do we... Here you are, my ephemeral son. So, not much here. If you've played Ephemerals before, you pretty much know how to play this deck. Only one new card in the deck from the new set. Just Sapling Toss to be a cheap way to activate the Ephemeral synergies because the Sapling himself is ephemeral. So you might say, like, why have you been playing this deck? What's so good about it right now? Well, small meta shifts, of course, always like change what decks can be good and bad. And also there are a few small buffs every now and again that have helped out the deck. For example, Callista has been buffed a while ago from into a 4/3. Hecarim, he got completely nerfed, and he's also gotten a small buff recently, so he's not as bad anymore. And the biggest one, the one that's most important, is the Harrowing buff. Now you might say it's only a 1 mana decrease, right? That's not that good. It's actually pretty big. 9 mana Harrowing is so much better than 10 mana. Not even trying to joke. It is actually crazy how good of a buff it is. We'll talk more about that in detail when we are going through each and every single card individually and we get to the Harrowing. So, real quick, let's go through the deck. The deck itself, it's your standard ephemeral list. You want to like find shark chariots, get the shark chariots to get some damage in, so on and so forth. Got soul shepherds, of course, because ephemerals and soul shepherds go together great. Try to level up Callista to bring back more ephemerals and just push in a lot of damage. I'd say this is more of a mid-range deck if you want to label this deck into a certain archetype. Mid-range deck with very, very good late game in the form of the Harrowing, and leveled up Callista with Shark Chariots is like a miniature Harrowing. And then of course you got Hecarim to be another huge power surge on turn 6, because on turn 6, if you had a decent draw, Hecarim actually is probably leveled up. And of course you got the combo of just ephemerals and death marks, specifically Darkwater Scourge. So let's start going through the cards themselves. At first, when I was first building this deck, I had actually played I started building this deck because, what's his name? Ren? Yeah, Ren Shadowblade. I thought this guy might actually be good and playable, so I was like, okay, let's try Ephemerals again. Sadly, didn't work out. Ren is still kind of meh. Sure, the Shadow Fiend is nice and all, in that it's like it's extra damage and it's an ephemeral to activate ephemeral synergies, but the problem is just doesn't do enough. It's a little too clunky. Now, I did like him at first because I was like, well, I don't really have anything else in the 4 mana slot besides denies and wills, but he's still just not good enough, sadly. I've also tried other things in this deck too as I was going through. I have tried the Blighted Caretaker stuff. I have tried Cursed Keeper as well with the Blighted Caretakers, and I've taken them out. And instead of playing them, I am now on Sapling Toss. I've also tried Twin Disciplines, Bark Beast, Aristocrats even. Tried all kinds of things. And this is the list I like the most. I got the inspiration for Sapling Toss after someone said, like, why not play Sapling Toss? And I was like, well, it kind of sucks as a card, right? And I still stand by that. I do think Sapling Toss is a mediocre card, but it does what it does really well. And that is pretty much a burst speed 1 mana way to get in to guarantee an ephemeral next turn to activate things like Shark Chariots and to just clog up the board and make it so you can challenge like a big life stealer or something to force in more damage. Pretty good. It's kind of sad to top deck this when you're looking for a really big high impact card and this is all you get because it doesn't do anything the turn you play it. Still though, I like it as a 2-of. I have won games purely because of Sapling Tosses, playing Sapling Toss and bring back like 4 or 5 Shark Chariots because Callista created more Shark Chariots. I like the card. I got Glimpse because Glimpse is just a good card. Don't need to talk too much about this card. 2 mana, draw 2, insanely good. Sure, you have to kill an ally, so what? Just use it to respond to a removal spell, or even just kill a Ephemeral if you're desperate for cards. Pretty good card. Haunted Relic. I feel like Tempo Endure Spiders, whatever you want to call it, has proven the worth of this card. You might be saying, well, you don't have Neverglade Collectors. I did actually try Neverglade Collectors in this deck too. A little too clunky as well. But still, the combo of Callista plus Haunted Relic is very, very real. Sometimes you will just play Callista, you'll skip turn 1 and turn 2, play turn 3 Callista, play Haunted Relic, and just to level up Callista. It's really, really good. Also, you can use this if you're you just need to buy time because your game plan is shifted from just a more mid-range beatdown plan into just win with a Harrowing. You can use this to just create 3 chump blockers because unlike Shark Chariot, they can block, so that's nice too. And they might actually do some damage, some real damage, if you have a Soul Shepherd. So, nice card. Pretty good. I like it as a 3-up. I don't think you can run less than 3. Unless maybe you play like Elise instead of Callista, but that doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Next up, we got Shark Chariot. Shark Chariot's pretty much one of the main reasons you play Ephemerals. The card is insane. It's very annoying, very hard to interact with until we get a way to interact with cards that are in the graveyard, which doesn't really exist. Shark Chariot's going to be very, very annoying. The high power of Shark Chariot actually means Callista might bring back more Shark Chariots if Callista levels up. And I've had a lot of games where I've had 4 or 5 Shark Chariots coming back every single time I attack him with some random Ephemeral. So, great card. Lots of damage, pretty nice. Combos well with just the entire gameplay plan we're trying to do. Next up, Soul Shepherd. Don't really think there's much needed to talk about with this card. You're in an Ephemeral deck. You're probably going to be playing this card because it's so good. Helps you by pushing things out of ping range, like your Unleashed Spirits and your Shark Chariots now no longer die to Withering Wails. That's really nice. And plus, with the Harrowing as well, buffs the Harrowing for a little extra more damage. Just a good card. And the card itself is a fair and fine defensive body. 2 mana, 2/3, blocks a lot of 1-drops and slows the game down for you to get your game plan going. 2 Vile Feasts. I wanted to fit in 3. At first, I actually had 3, and I only had 1 Sapling Toss. I cut this 3rd Vile Feast for the 2nd Sapling Toss. Still, though, good card. Might want more of them depending on the meta. I prefer 2 Sapling Tosses and 2 Feasts instead of 1 Sapling Toss, 3 Feast. So, yeah, nothing special here. Just a good card that does its job. Deals 1, gains you 1, gives you a Spiderling. So, yeah, pretty nice. Next up, Darkwater Scourge. Card is pretty nice. 3 mana, 5/5, Lifesteal Ephemeral. Obviously, the dream is combo it with Deathmark, so you get a 5/5 Lifesteal. That doesn't die, obviously, because it doesn't have Ephemeral. But if you need to, of course, you can play this just as a way to gain life at and then it'll die, or as just a way to disincentivize and attack in from your opponent. Like your opponent plays like some, like I don't know, like a 4/5 or a 5/5. Play this, they don't attack in. Sure, you don't gain life, but they didn't attack in. And it's like you gain life in theory. Pretty cool, huh? So I play 3. I've considered maybe even cutting 1 and going to 2, but I like 3 at the moment because of all kinds of scenarios. Plus, you don't really gain much life here, and Burn is kind of a tough matchup. Also, works really nice with Callista. This guy's really, really big. You're probably not going to be having anything bigger than this guy die unless somehow you stole something from an opponent somehow. But I don't know how you do that with this deck because you're not really stealing cards. So if this guy dies and then you have a leveled up Callista, bringing back Darkwater Scourge over and over and over, that's pretty good. Next up, though, we got Deathmark. Nothing special here. Card's really good. Really, really nice removal spell. Brings back things permanent, or keeps things from dying because of their Ephemeral. Kills things that just can't be killed. Probably always going to play 3 of these in an Ephemeral deck. Next up, Callista. Not much to talk about with her. Just a very good card. Very good in the curve at 3. Leveled up Callista is what we really want to do here. She's really easy to level up thanks to things like Haunted Relic and Shark Chariots and Ephemerals in general. Champ spell's good too. Black Spear's just okay removal now that it's been nerfed to 3 instead of 2. Still, very good card. She's kind of like a miniature Harrowing in the late game, so even has some really good late game potential. Level up Callista in the late game. Attack in with her, brings back like a Darkwater Scourge and brings back like 2 or 3 Shark Chariots, and you're good. Next up. Not much to talk about the next card. Shadow Assassin is a good card, 3 mana, 2/2 elusive, draws a card. If you're in Ionia and you're not playing this card, you probably should, most likely, because control decks love it, aggro decks like it to an extent. Elusives, of course, play it. Does it all. Next up, I've got a split between 1 Deny and 2 Wills. I kind of just like Deny. I realize Deny is not the greatest thing in the current meta, but I still like to play 1 Deny if I'm in Ionia, no matter what. I at first had 3 Wills, no Denies, and then I went back to 2 Wills and 1 Deny, so yeah, it does its thing. It stops like scary spells, stops Ruination, stops Vengeances, enemy Harrowings, just stuff in general. Also protects. Also, another big thing is it protects your own ruin or your own Harrowing, and that's one of the reasons why I built this deck. Is now that Harrowing cost 9 mana, you can technically, in theory, hold up a Deny, and obviously other Will of Ionia and other 4 mana spells now that cost 9, since 10 regular mana plus 3 spell mana. Next up though, we got Hecarim. It's a pretty good card. Not as good as he once was, obviously, when the Shadow Isles meta was dominating everything, but he's really good if you can get a early leveled up Hecarim. And it's not that difficult to level him up, because thanks to the Spectral Riders, you only need to attack him with 5 other Ephemerals, and if you can get a leveled up Callista and maybe some Haunted Relics, he'll probably be leveled up around turn 6 or 7 whenever you attack. The only reason I'm not the biggest fan of Hecarim is because of Sejuani. Sejuani lines up really, really well against Hecarim. You try to play Hecarim on turn 6, they play Sejuani, and you're like, well, I can't really attack in with Hecarim. I have attacked in with Hecarim after he's been frozen, frostbitten, when they play Sejuani, just because I would bring in like a bunch of Spectral Riders and Shark Chariots, and then leveled up Hecarim will do his job and kill them. So, still a good card, just not that good because Sejuani exists. Now, I would like a +1 health buff on him, if you would please help me out here, Riot. Next up, we got the Harrowing. Main reason I built this deck. The buff, like I said, really helps because you can now hold up Denies and bluff Denies and other such things. Card is very hard to deal with for some decks. Shadow Isles basically says, like, either you need to have a big board or you need a Ruination if you don't have a big board. And if your opponent's in Ionia, not many people are playing Deny at the moment because it's not really good in the current meta. Who knows, maybe in a couple of days, though, Deny will be good. So, yeah, card is good. Brings back Hecarim. Again, of course, the back when this card was actually played in the Shadow Isles meta, remember, if you've attacked in once with Hecarim and that's the only Ephemerals you've attacked in with, and you play the Harrowing and attack in with Hecarim again, since all of the units are Ephemeral, Hecarim will, in theory, level up. Pretty nice. And we got 3 Ruinations. Don't be afraid to Ruination a big board of yours to use it as a very bad vengeance, because, again, we have the Harrowing, and that is our... I'd say it's the main game plan. Like, sure, I have won and you can win with just Callista beatdowns and Hecarim beatdowns, but if your opponent starts to flood the board with things like Gangplanks and other such things, or Garens and Demacia stuff, just throw out a Ruination and be like, whatever, just throw it out there and start refilling the board with things like just a random Hecarim or even a Sapling Toss. Like, a lot of times I would play Ruination and play Sapling Toss and then attack in with a Sapling and bring back a bunch of Shark Chariots and win the game that way. So, all in all, really fun deck. I honestly, legitimately think this is a solid deck, and maybe even in the middle of tier 2. Did a lot better than I expected it to do on stream, which is why I'm making this video too as well. So, with that all said, let's get into some games real quick. All right, who have we got? I have no idea what this is. I assume, first off, it's below my Nexus. How lewd. Second off, no champions, Demacia Shadow Isles. That probably means you are Undying shenanigans, maybe even Dawn Speakers. As for mulliganing, I like to keep this combo. I think in every matchup, except for maybe the most aggressive of burn decks where I have no early game, I like to keep Callista. And if I have this combo, I like to keep this combo. So I'm going to keep it. Sapling Toss, I'm not a fan of keeping in the early game. I like to Sapling Toss after I played Shark Chariots. So with this matchup, let me see here. Yeah, this is an Undying deck, probably. I think I'm going to... I'm trying to think if I want to play Shark Chariot on turn 2, in other words. Because I want to attack in with Callista. And I think I'll play Shark Chariot now, pass to them. Turn 3, I will Shadow Assassin on their turn. And then the next turn, I should have enough mana to do Callista Haunted Relic. Just exactly enough mana. And that way I can even attack in with a Shark Chariot. You see, you have to think... I feel like with this deck, you can't just throw cards out there and hope for the best. So this is... you got to think your turns through. I'm going to attack in anyway. I don't care about this guy doing his thing and trading here. It's whatever. It seems my opponent doesn't want to block. Okay, thank you. Thank you also for doing nothing. So yeah, now I'm just going to play Shadow Assassin. Throw it out there. If it dies, it dies. I don't mind if Shadow Assassin dies. I actually would love Shadow Assassin to die eventually so she can come back with Callista. I'm not going to block, though, obviously. Like, this is going to turn into a race soon. Do you have anything? So yeah, now, play Callista, play Haunted Relic. We got a Ruination. Doesn't really do much in this matchup. But yes, Callista and Haunted Relic. Depending on what they play here, I might attack in with Callista if they play something that can't die. I don't think I'm going to attack in. Sure, Callista will be, in theory, a 5/4. I can block here. Actually, I think I will. No. No, I won't. Because I'm scared of Vile Feast, basically. So now, in theory, Callista will level up. They have a lot of mana and a lot of cards to do stuff, but that deck doesn't really have a good way here. Okay, so we are going to race, and we're going to have to Ruination one of these days. And because of that, I want to attack in with you, Callista. So yeah, look at this. This is like just turn 4. Lots of damage coming through. You'll love to see it. Like, sure, this 1/1 will become a 2/2, and they'll have... Like, what have you got here? Single combat. Ooh, that's really good. That's actually really, really good. So yeah, I'm seeing what I will probably do here. It's going to turn into a... Dawn Speaker is going to go off. I'm going to turn this game into a... probably play... Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was going to say, like, this is going to be a Harrowing thing. Like, block here, and I think I'll pass. Like, sure, this will work. I feel like with this block, they'll want to play a lot of stuff on the board. If they do nothing, like double Dawn Speakers, sure. And then I'll Ruination here next turn. Even better. Now, the problem is that is a really, really big Undying, and I am starting to panic a little bit. So yeah, now I have to, now the problem is I have to do this Ruination now, or else they'll just pass and open attack in and kill me, so a little scary. And the Undying's coming back, so that is 5 damage already. So can you get 9 damage on the board? You just passed with 9 mana up. I love to see it. Also, I got a Hecarim. Also love to see it. Now then, Hecarim will level up here. That's actually really good. I'm a little afraid of vengeances and ruinations of their own, but it's whatever. And in fact, I think I kind of want a sapling toss to tie up the Chronicler. But I think I'm going to pass on that one. At least for now. I want to see if they have anything else to do. Opponent, please. So what have you got? If they have a way to kill Hecarim, I really can't deal with that if they can kill Hecarim here. Perfect. Alright, so Hecarim levels up. That's good. Should bring back, like... Yeah, that levels up Hecarim, brings back the Shark Chariot. So get in there. And that is a lot of damage, and they can't block that much of it. So that is really nice. Like, they're taking 10, 11, it seems. They don't want to block the 6th one. They want to block the 5-2 for some reason. What is this? Vile Feast. Withering Wail. Ah, so that's why you wanted to do it. So, I'll let that go off. I want this to trade here, but I'm going to glimpse this. My plan is now harrowing on my next attack, holding up deny to stop their ruination. Oh, this is really good. I can play harrowing now as a defensive harrowing if they give me a chance. Perfect. And I'll play Shadow Assassin and maybe even Sapling Toss if I need another blocker. Because for now, this looks good. Like, they only can get in 3 damage. That's a very good draw, too. I have to bank 3 mana this turn, is the problem. So I can't do anything. And since they just passed, I'll pass, too. Darkwater Scourge is a huge hit. So I go to 6. Sure. I actually don't want anything on the board. I'm a little afraid of Relentless Pursuit, but if they play Relentless Pursuit, I can play Darkwater Scourge and Harrowings, like a defensive Harrowing. Don't be afraid to play defensive Harrowings here. And now I'll just play Harrowing and win the game, because I can play Harrowing and hold up Deny in case they try to Ruination me. And they only have a Spider. Like, what are they going to do here? I guess maybe in theory Judgment, but I can counter Judgment. Like, their own Harrowing's not even that good because Undyings. Glimpse, sure. I don't want to do anything. I want to play I don't want to play Vile Feast to stop them from drawing. I want to hold up Deny now to stop anything weird. Okay, thank you. I was a little afraid for a second. I was like, excuse me. Oh, yeah, and I bring back Shadow Assassin, so that happens. So, Ruination? Welcome to the whole reason we play Harrowing now, boys. And why I have one of Deny in here. And that's GG. You love to see it. You actually love to see it. That's how you play the deck, boys. I feel like that's a good one. I'm actually going to keep just that one win there. Normally, I usually put 2 games in for in these videos, but I feel like that was a very, very good example of a win. Don't bully my rank, by the way. The season just reset, so I'm still low ranked. I'm usually in Masters. But yeah, I feel like that was a very good example of why the deck is good. You saw we had a very nice, strong early game with the Callistas and the Haunted Relics. And eventually, I said how I was changing my game plan halfway through from just a beatdown plan into a more control plan with that Ruination play because of the double Dawn speakers they did, and I turned it into a Harrowing play. And as we saw there too, one of the reasons why I like this deck at the moment, because of the we couldn't do that if it wasn't for the Harrowing buff. If it wasn't for the Harrowing buff, we wouldn't be able to play the Harrowing and deny in the same turn. I was gonna say, like, I didn't say it during the gameplay, but Undying decks usually play 1 or 2 or even 3 Ruinations of their own, so having that deny really, really was nice. So, I hope you all enjoyed the deck tech, the game as well. Only one game, apologies, but I feel like that was just a perfect example of the game and how this deck works, and just really good gameplay. It covered everything. Also, I don't want to lose too, of course. So yeah, that's gonna be it. If you're looking for a fun ephemeral deck, that now the problem is you kind of do have to think a little bit. If you want a deck where you can just mindlessly slam things down and just not think at all, I'm sorry, this deck's not for you. But if you want to play a fun, kind of an underdog deck that will just has a lot of fun payoffs and just flooding the board from out of nowhere, this is the deck for you. So, that's going to be it for today's episode of, I'm in my other mode of YouTube. That's going to be it for today's deck tech for this Ephemeralist. I couldn't even think of a good name for it. I just called it Ephemerals for this deck. So yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you all enjoyed, as I said. If you guys enjoyed the video on the deck tech, it would mean a lot to me if you could leave a like or a comment down below. If you guys want to keep up with the channel and all the Runeterra content I put out there, please be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. If you want to catch me and see me playing some more Legends of Runeterra, you can go and check me out on my Twitch TV account, twitch.tv/Zenaton. I play Runeterra pretty much every single day, almost, for a lot of time. You might see me playing this deck, in fact, too. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all again for watching this video. I hope you all learned something and enjoyed it. Again, as usual, I will include links to a mobalytics page and a deck code down below, so if you want to play it, you can play it yourself. So again, thank you all again once more for watching, and until I see you guys in the next video, bye!